Today was Sunday, July 6, 2025, and we spent the day in Corfu, Greece. We opted for the hop-on, hop-off bus, which took us by these Roman baths that date back to the 1st and 2nd centuries, then dropped us off right in front of the old fortress. Corfu has two fortresses. This one, called the Old Fortress, was constructed by the Venetians in the 1400s. There is a cost to enter. I think it was like 10 or 15 euros. The first thing you come across when you enter the fortress is the museum that is on site. That is definitely worth taking a look at. As you can see here, a couple of interesting things that I took pictures of. Then when we left, we were greeted by this extremely friendly cat. I hope he is there for your visit because he was quite a joy.
Little guy.
Kitty.
Oh, you're sweet. You're sweet. Yes, you are. Oh, hi.
Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program, the fortress. So it was really hot that day, and there is a cafe on site, so I was able to get me some Coke Zero and some banana flavored ice cream here before continuing on to the only church in Greece built in the Doric style. It is located here at the Old Fortress in Corfu. Admittingly, while the exterior is really super cool, when you get into the inside, the interior is not particularly ornate. So here's a look at the altar, and then a quick pan to the rear of the church. And that was all there was to it, so we just went about our day. Other notable points of interest at the fortress are this clock tower. There's a close-up of that clock tower. And of course, what we would typically find at a fortress, these cannons. And then this cute little lighthouse up on the very top. And of course, it does have some rather impressive views. Of course, we are no longer in the Adriatic Sea. We are looking at the Ionian Sea. And we'll do a quick pan of the overall fortress and head on to our next destination in Corfu. Next, we have the Holy Church of St. Spiridon. It is within walking distance of the Old Fortress. It's a Greek Orthodox church that was constructed in the 1580s. The bell tower is the highest tower of the Ionian Islands. From 1807 to 1917, the church was under the protection of Russia, and as such, there is a Romanov coat of arms on the western end of the church. Inside the church, which you cannot record in, by the way, are icons in a crypt. The mummified remains of the Saint Spiridon, which were brought to Corfu after the fall of Constantinople, are kept in a double-layered sarcophagus. Religious pilgrims from all over the world come to pay tribute. As you can see, there are lots of souvenir stalls, so there's no shortage of souvenirs. And we're going to head on to the new Venetian fortress, which, like the old fortress, had a guardian cat outside the front that we had to pay tribute to.
Hello, baby. Huh? Hi. You're so cute.
Our last stop of the day was the new Venetian fortress, which we got there by hop-on, hop-off bus. There is a small fee to enter the site. It was, I think, 5 euros, but it was definitely worth it. There was a lot to see here. So some background. Corfu was controlled by the Venetian Republic until 1797. Then it was controlled by the French, the British, and finally the Greeks in 1864. While controlled by the British, the current structures of the fort were constructed. And that was between 1815 and 1863. But again, the origins of the fortress date back to the 1500s when the island was under Venetian control. In addition to all the fortressy stuff that you can see at the new Venetian fortress, there is also the opportunity to get some great pictures and take in some great views from this high of a vantage point. For example, you can see the old fortress right there in the distance, which allowed for this amazing picture here. There on the left, you can see our ship hanging out there in the Ionian Sea. And we'll take a look at a few more spots of the fortress that were worth videoing. And of course, at this point, I got distracted and started videoing the views again. But alas, it was time to go. So we're going to head on out of the fortress, get back on the hop-on, hop-off bus, and make our way back to the ship.
meille